Welcome back to another episode of the Crossbar channel. We are back with the Champions League. That's right. The quarterfinal draw was held on Friday, March 15th. We started up with 32 teams, only 8 left. This is Europe's top 8 this season in Champions League. So we got great matchups. Arsenal facing Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid hosting Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid and Manchester City, and Paris St Germain is going to take on FC Barcelona. So we're going to do a quick preview of the matchups, see who's the favorite, and early pick of all the tie. So without wasting any more time, let's go. And here we go. We're going to start right up with the first matchup of the quarterfinal, Arsenal against Bayern Munich. I think Arsenal, as much as the win over Porto didn't really tell me much about them. If anything, actually, I was concerned about how a hard time they had defeating Porto. Porto is a really good team, and they used to play in the Champions League, so it's not a team that I'm neglecting or like that I'm not taking into consideration. But Arsenal, for all the momentum, for all the Premier League, and last year they finished second, but it was a successful season, and this season they're battling for the title. You would think, from how the media portraying the Premier League, that Arsenal would have crushed FC Porto, but it wasn't the case. Porto has plenty of opportunity to win that game. So did Arsenal on the second leg and the first, but it was kind of nobody really saw this game going in penalty shootout. Really, I didn't see it, and I'm pretty sure you didn't see it coming to penalty shootout. So Arsenal was kind of disappointing. Yeah, they managed to pass to the quarterfinal, and that's the goal, anyways. But it was kind of they made it to the thread of the needle, and Bayern Munich did what they have to do. They lost, like I said, against Lazio Roma. It was surprising, but pretty much everyone knew they were going to defeat Lazio Roma in Munich. A large score. I even thought it was going to be maybe 5-1, and they made it 3-0. But nonetheless, these two teams face off plenty of time in the Champions League. They've played 12 games. Bayern Munich won 7, Arsenal won 3 times, and 2 draws. So I'm going to say advantage Bayern Munich for many reasons. They are a European powerhouse. They frequently win the Champions League. They have a better team than Arsenal, I would say. Now, they are struggling this season in the Bundesliga. You can make the argument this isn't the best Bayern Munich we've seen in a long time, because they might lose the title to Bayer Leverkusen. So, is it the informed Bayern Munich? No, but Thomas Tuchel knows a thing or two about winning the Champions League when he's not having a good season domestically. Let's just put it that way. So Thomas Tuchel has been in this situation before. He's won in this situation before. And the Champions League is just a cup to him at this point. He's not really counting on the Bundesliga. Now, he's not going to admit it, but Bayer Leverkusen is giving them the business in domestically. And I think with the squad they have, with Manuel Neuer, the leadership of Manuel Neuer, Joshua Kimmich, even Harry Kane going back to London, being a Tottenham guy who's pretty much plays his whole career in the shadows of Arsenal's and all the London team winning, I'm going to say, big things. Now he's coming back to London to face his nemesis, Arsenal, with a team. This time he has an actual squad with him. Tottenham was not the squad the Bayern Munich is, although big respect to Heung-min Son. But I'm going to give advantage to Bayern Munich, although they're struggling. And even though Arsenal is playing super well, like I said, they're challenging for the title. They're right neck and neck with Man City and Liverpool this season. They seem to have really matured this season compared to last year. Last year was kind of a surprise that they were kind of there. But this season, I feel like they've matured enough. They give me the sentiment that they're more serious about their business this season. But yet again, the Premier League is not the Champions League, and Bayern Munich is a big one to try to mess up with. So I don't know if I'm going to pick a super early pick. We don't know what's going to happen between now and April 9th when they play this game. It could be injuries. Could be team not in form anymore. So this is my super early pick. I'm going to make other pick as close to we get to the game. I'm going to say advantage Bayern Munich. Historically, is the bigger team. They have the better goalkeeper with Manuel Neuer. They have the better number 9, Harry Kane. They have a solid foundation team. They've been playing this football for a long time. And they have a coach who's won the Champions League. Arsenal doesn't have any of this. They have a really young team, a really good team. But I'm going to say advantage Bayern Munich. And also historically, like I said, Bayern Munich beat them already 7 times. Arsenal only 3. So, all right, next game, Real Madrid against Manchester City. Real Madrid hosting at the Santiago Bernabeu on April 9th as well as the second game. The two games are going to be played at the same time, as you know. Real Madrid struggled to get rid of RB Leipzig. I love that RB Leipzig squad. I was a super fan of Luis Openda, Danny Olmo, Xavi Simon. They have a really young squad, a really good, talented squad. I knew coming in they were going to give Real Madrid the problem, but I wasn't expecting them to give Real Madrid that much of problem that they did. Nonetheless, Real Madrid managed to go through. They score on aggregate 2-1. Real Madrid defeated RB Leipzig in Germany 1-0 and 1-1 in Santiago Bernabeu. And Manchester City had an easy go-around against Copenhagen. Copenhagen was one of the informed team and is one of the big surprise in the first round in the Champions League. But City easily, as expected, defeated them 6-2 on aggregate. So these two teams already facing off. This is the third time in a row that City and, I believe third time in a row, that City and Real Madrid are facing up in the Champions League. Historically, I'm going to say Manchester City has a little bit of a small advantage. They've played 10 times, these two teams. City won 4 times, Real Madrid won 3, and 3 draw. It's kind of tight. You see the number of goals that each team have scored, 17-14. They're pretty much close to each other. But if you're going to talk about who's the favorite, historically, I would give it to Real Madrid. They're the king of the Champions League. They wear the crown on their logo, 14-time champion. Manchester City is the current champion, the defending champ, with only 1 championship. So I'm going to say, as far as forms go, advantage Manchester City, although Real Madrid is also in form. But as far as historically, you got to give Real Madrid the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm going to give on my super early pick that I might change depending on what happened between today and April 9th is just how informed are the team. Manchester City battling for the title in the Premier League, but I think they have more chance to defeat Real Madrid because as much as Real Madrid, I love Rodrigo on the right, Vinicius on the left. His Ancelotti is going to play Jude Bellingham as a number 9. He's done it before, or as a fake number 9, or is he going to actually play an actual number 9? Here's the reason I'm asking, because Manchester City they do have pace on the defense. Kyle Walker has a good pace. So does Nathan Ake. So does Manuel Akanji. I mean, the only one who doesn't have good pace is Ruben Diaz, but he's a hell of a defender. So Manchester City defense is really tight. For someone like Bellingham to play number 9 is not his really position. To take that risk in the Champions League against Manchester City, I think it's going to be a big gamble for Carlo Ancelotti. If I were a betting man, I would say Ancelotti should play actual number 9 as opposed to playing Jude Bellingham there. Let Bellingham play as his actual position so he can serve you better, especially going with that defense that City has. Like I say, all of them a solid defender and really good pace. And and Yusko Vardiol also super pacey. So City has literally what it takes to go neck and neck as far as pace with Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Now I know they're skillful players, but as far as it's not going to be the same as against RB Leipzig. So depending on how Ancelotti set up his team, if I were him, I'll play actual number 9. I play Jude Bellingham at his best position. I play 2 holding midfielder and trying to play that way. But we see how it goes. But if I'm going to say personnel-wise, the defense, Man City has a better defense than Real Madrid. Midfield can be debatable. I'm going to say this same level midfield because Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri is as good as Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham. Now, they are, of course, better individually. De Bruyne, which is De Bruyne, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva. But I say as a unit, as a work rate, those for Real Madrid, they can play box-to-box. They literally have 3 box-to-box midfielder, while Manchester City has Rodri, who's really a defensive-minded midfield who can help forward. De Bruyne is a forward midfielder who can help a little bit in defense, and Bernardo Silva is really a winger/midfielder. So I think the midfields almost are on the same level. It's not the same players, but I'm going to say same level. And attack, I'm going to say advantage on the wings, advantage Real Madrid with Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo on the right and left. But as far as number 9, advantage, of course, Manchester City with Erling Haaland. So the two teams match up pretty well, and it's difficult to pick who's going to win. Now, here's the thing. Real Madrid host first. It usually was kind of a bad thing to host first when they had the away goal, but now it's kind of maybe it'll be an advantage with Real Madrid. But if I got to pick one for the sake of early pick, I'm going to say, based on the inform, I'm going to say Manchester City has more chance to going through, but we see how it unfold while the game starts. Next game on that Champions League quarterfinal, Atletico de Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. You know how they say in the fighting business, style make fight. This one's complete opposite stylistically. Atletico Madrid is more Inter Milan-like grindy team, and that's the team that they actually defeated on the penalty shootout to make it to the quarterfinal, while Borussia Dortmund got rid of PSV Eindhoven. So it's like Atletico Madrid faced a team that's similar to them as with Inter Milan, and Borussia Dortmund faced a similar team with totally offensive team with PSV Eindhoven. So none of the team here is prepared to face each other. If it was reversed, had Borussia Dortmund faced Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid faced PSV, I would have said this is the perfect training ground for this. But stylistically, it's totally different. Dortmund, complete attacking football, and Atletico Madrid, really grindy, really tactical, really defensive-minded squad. So it's going to be interesting to see who come up between the super defensive team and the super offensive team with Borussia Dortmund. Now, historically, we don't have much data on these two teams. They face off each other 4 times. Atletico Madrid won twice. Borussia Dortmund also won twice. Borussia Dortmund scored 6 goals. Atletico Madrid scored 4 goals. But that's not a big enough sample to really go off of to make my prediction. I'm going to go advantage. We like offensive football. I mean, you gotta give credit to offensive football. But here's the thing. Atletico de Madrid level of organizing play and grinding and making the game ugly for Borussia Dortmund is going to make it tough. Can Borussia Dortmund really cope with that type of intensity? And they're not used to it. Even in the Bundesliga, it's super offensive, super attacking football. Atletico Madrid is Borussia Dortmund's worst nightmare. Literally worst nightmare. But I'm going to say advantage a little bit for Atletico Madrid. They can make it super ugly. And then I think they're going to go through. That's my super early pick. I love Dortmund team better because I love offensive football better. I like Marco Reus. I like Julian Brandt better. I like Schaderbeck. The offensive-mindedness of Borussia Dortmund, I prefer. But if I'm going to say who's going to come out of this on my super early pick, I'm going to have to go Atletico de Madrid. Next and last matchup of the Champions League quarterfinal, of course, the usual Paris St Germain against FC Barcelona. PSG got rid of Real Sociedad, which has been one of the sensation of the Liga this season. Paris St Germain easily, I'm going to say, got rid of him 2-0 first leg and 2-1 on aggregate 4-1. And Barcelona struggled a bit against Napoli, although they took care of business at home at the Camp Nou, winning 3-1. But the aggregate was 4-2. So who is the favorite as far as I'm concerned? Now, historically, these two teams been facing of the Champions League 12 times already. Now, would you believe it's kind of hard to imagine that, but PSG won 4 times, Barcelona won 4 times, and they have 4 draws. So in 12 individual game, they square off. As far as goal, Barcelona scored 23 goals and PSG 21. But everybody remembered the infamous remontada that Barcelona had over PSG after Paris defeated them 4-0 at the Parc des Princes, and Barcelona managed to reverse the fixture and made it through. PSG did knock out Barcelona on their way to the Champions League final in 2020, I remember, on Kylian Mbappé scoring. It was a hat-trick at the Camp Nou, but it's going to be different. It will be fans understand this time. I don't know, as far as the inform, both teams are kind of in a almost similar form. Barcelona, in the last 5 games, they've won 3 and 2 draw. PSG struggled a little bit. They've won 2 of the last 5, 3. But I'm going to go advantage. You're going to have to go with historically Barcelona is usually. For some reason, PSG. Now, this season seems kind of different now. We've said that before. It seems different this season with Paris. But this season particularly, it seems a little different than previous season. Barcelona hasn't been impressive, to be honest. Hasn't been impressive at all. Although Robert Lewandowski already started throwing shots at PSG. He gave an interview yesterday when he said after the draw, when he found out they were drawing PSG, he was confident. He knew Barcelona is going to be in the semifinals. So those are the type of statement that you're making way before the game going to come and bat you on the behind. You better back that up, Lewandowski, because he hasn't played well this season in the Champions League. 7 games, only 3 goals. So for Lewandowski to talk this way, I'm not used to him being this trash talker, but I guess he feels that confident enough that he can say that to the media that, yeah, if we're facing PSG, we're going to play better than against Napoli. We're definitely going to the semifinal. Maybe this is the type of thing that PSG are going to take as an ammunition to, pump themselves even more to make sure Lewandowski eat his own words. But besides Lewandowski confidence, I'm going to say historically Barcelona has the edge, although more recent history, as I said, PSG did knock them out of the Champions League. This is a super tight one. I don't know who to pick between these two teams. Stylistically, the wings, Yamal on the right for Barcelona, and who they got on the left. They have a pretty good midfield. They have a very good defense. But I just say individually, PSG has the better player of the both teams. Kylian Mbappe is definitely best player on each of the two teams. Oh, you have Rafinha. Here you go, Barcelona. So Yamal and Rafinha. PSG has Kylian Mbappe. Well, is Mbappe going to play on the wing? And maybe Brady Barcola on the left. Ousmane Dembele on the right. Mbappe in the center. As far as individual player in attack, I'm going to say, well, I can't really say PSG because Rafinha is more proven, definitely more proven than Brady Barcola at this point in his career. Has played a bigger game, better than Barcola. The young Yamal for Barcelona, although he seems to be a better talent, but Dembele has played better so far. And Lewandowski and Kylian Mbappe are now on the same level. Now, Lewandowski is the actual number 9. He's a proper striker, a proper number 9 striker. But Mbappe is playing on the front 9. Mbappe is clearly a better player. And if you look at the midfield, where there's Vitinha, who's going to play, Zaire Emery, and is it going to be Ugarte? Luis Enrique doesn't play Ugarte that much anymore. He's loving more of the Spaniard on the midfield with him, and Barcelona, who they're going to be on the 3 midfield. The defense, I'm going to say PSG has a big problem. Skriniar is injured, Marquinhos injured, Kimpembe is injured, Hakimi suspended, is not going to play the first leg. So 4 of their 4 starter. Now you can say Kimpembe has been injured the whole season, okay, but Skriniar, Marquinhos, and Hakimi are not going to play that first leg, which is going to give a huge advantage, especially for Barcelona with their wingers, knowing that Yamal going to have all the space. Because who's going to play on the right? Is it going to be... Because the coach has played Hernandez on the right. I've seen he's struggling in the French league. The past 2 games, he's playing him on the right-hand side. That's not his position. He's really a central defender who can help on the left. But now he's playing him on the right. It's going to be a big issue. Unless you're going to play Nordi Mukiele. If I were Luis Enrique, I'd play Nordi Mukiele because he's an actual right back. Even he's not as spacey as Hakimi. He's not as sharp defensively as Hernandez. I'd rather play him in his actual position than give him a chance to be cooked on the wing, because Barcelona, they have wingers. They have technical, pacey wingers. So PSG going with because of those reasons, I'm going to say Barcelona are going to go through, because PSG has a plethora of injuries on their defense. I would like for PSG to go through because of the trauma that they had from the remontada, and Barcelona hasn't been class acts against PSG. If it is the Messi's move, the two club really haven't been as friendly as they used to be. I'm going to say they haven't been as cordial as they used to be. Anyways, if I want to make my quick pick, I'm going to say Barcelona just because PSG has so many injuries. But yet again, PSG has Kylian Mbappe, Dembele. They also have Kolo Muani and Barcola. It's going to be interesting to see who goes through. So, quick recap on the Champions League quarterfinal. As we discussed, Arsenal against Bayern Munich. Atletico de Madrid is going to host Borussia Dortmund. Real Madrid, Manchester City, and Paris St Germain is going to face FC Barcelona. Now, you let me know in the comment below who you got going. I know it's a super early pick. We're going to make another pick close to April 9th, or maybe the day or 2 days before the game, taking into account injuries on informed teams. But right now, who you got going between this team? Let me know in the comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.